What's going on, everybody? The Wolfpac is
Yo,
back, and it's time to cause some mass destruction. It's Devin.
It's Joel.
poor fish.
A little
We're
too
back.
sweet, too sweet. We're back today with an Elimination Chamber preview coming up this Saturday. It's a pretty small card, but still pretty packed and stacked nonetheless. But before we get into that, first we got to preview SmackDown before Chamber. Tell us what we got on our plate, Joel.
Well, before any of that, actually, if you haven't seen, we've uploaded a Raw and NXT review as well. So go ahead and check on that as well.
Yes.
We've shown up a little bit. We've talked a little bit of the go home shows for Elimination Chamber and all the big updates that NXT has had. But for the SmackDown, it's the preview as of right now. We're at Wednesday, midway through the week. We have Women's U.S. Champion Chelsea Green will be in action. Not sure in which capacity. But also, Shinsuke Nakamura will finally be defending his elusive U.S. Championship against LA Knight. So we're finally getting that run back from Survivor Series. It's kind of on flat ears, at least to me. Guys, what do you think on that part?
When it comes to Shinsuke's title reign, yeah, he's transitional, if that wasn't obvious enough. And I don't know what the point of giving him this was if you're just gonna not really give him any flowers. I, to be honest, I see LA Knight winning this back and then moving on to WrestleMania to defend it against, man, who was his last run-in with? Oh, he didn't have a run-in. He didn't have a run-in. He had a
No.
tag match with R-Truth is what happened. So,
Yeah,
I
where's
mean,
Louisiana
Yeah.
night?
yeah, Louisiana, yeah, New Orleans.
New
Uh,
Orleans zone.
what a national treasure that man is.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
my God,
man.
so funny. He's got a job for life.
I want to see I want to see more LA Knight Archer stuff backstage. It's almost as good as Melodope Miz.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah, good
So,
stuff.
Corey, what do you think? Nakamura, LA Knight.
Um, I mean, I think it's fine. They haven't really done anything with Shinsuke, unfortunately, which is kind of terrible because he's
I
one of
hate
my
it.
boys.
I hate
He's
it.
one of my
I hate
boys, and
it.
he had this whole new transformation just to kind of do
Off
nothing.
TV most of the
So
time.
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Or
it's
he's
it's really
losing.
unfortunate.
He
So
had the bloodline run in. I thought we were gonna get some more stuff with that, where he came
Yo,
out with Jacob
we
Fatu.
have been at a Shinsuke bloodline like tease for like 4 or 5 years now.
yeah, true.
And it's these weird
Nothing's come
interactions
of
that they
it.
have. They
Yeah,
had that one interaction where they were gonna attack him, but they didn't. But he was still like, I'm watching you guys.
Yeah,
So like I don't know what it is. He just feels like an auxiliary character that they never feel like they can pull the trigger on. And not, and even when they do, I mean, he's had a couple of U.S. title runs, but I can't think of how memorable they have been because they haven't been.
yeah,
they haven't
yeah.
been. The most
It's
memorable
it.
run for him has probably been the IC title with Sammy.
Yeah, it's
I would even
unfortunate,
say
but
his tag team title run with Cesaro was
I
probably better than this.
didn't even know that ever
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
That
Tag
sounds
team.
fire. That
Two of
sounds
my
fire as
two
hell.
of my boys at one point were tag team champions on
That's
SmackDown.
yeah,
destiny.
And it was a
Absolute
great,
yeah.
destiny.
It's unfortunate, but it is
Yeah.
what it is. So
So
Yeah.
we can move over to Elimination Chamber.
All right, it's time to get into
well,
oh, what's up, Corey?
wasn't there another match?
It was the Chelsea
No,
Green. We don't know what she's going to be involved in. Maybe it's like
okay.
a I hope it's a
Open
one on
challenge.
I hope it's a one-on-one with Soul before their tag match on NXT.
Oh,
Soul
maybe yeah.
Ruka, get some showcasing there.
I actually think it's probably going to be an NXT star that they beat, which gives Chelsea Green more of a credence to kind
Credence to,
of
okay. No,
to
yeah, that makes
be
sense.
to be like
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll
No,
see.
you're right.
I
You're
really
right.
hope so.
Yeah, no, you're right because they
Like
if they
who
do.
though?
I would rather not have that match that you're implying and have Soul beat her in the tag.
Well, yeah. So what I was going to say is if they would want to do Soul versus Chelsea as a preview, they would just end like it would end in some like DQ nonsense with Piper, but just like a just like a build, get
Right.
Yeah.
SmackDown viewers to go watch NXT.
NXT. No, I get that.
All
What
right.
about
Well, on
Robert
to
Stone comes back?
oh god,
The Robert
on
Stone
to
brand.
Elimination Chamber. So um, I guess we can just talk about the. Do we want to talk about the men's right away, or do we want
Wait,
to
let's
go to
go.
the undercard matches?
Yeah, let's start with those because
Okay.
I
So First thing that's supposed to be happening is Cody Rhodes answering The Rock on becoming his corporate champion. So I know we talked about this a little bit in the SmackDown or the Raw episode, but do you guys want to see Cody become Homelander and go
Not yet.
heel?
Not
No,
yet.
no,
No?
Not yet. I
no.
Interesting.
think if he's looking for a corporate champion, like John's always been that corporate champion guy. I'll dig a little bit deeper into this. We start talking about the men's chamber and who's going to win that, because I think there is a pretty solid through line for John Cena to. Uh, I don't want to give away too much, but I think it would be really good. I think it'd be really good. You get that last minute Cena heel run that we didn't get. I think if you just do this blasé face run for his last year, that's not very exciting. So I think he should break some boundaries. And John Cena would be a really cool corporate champion for The Rock for sure. Two Hollywood guys.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. But we can get to that. In terms of the Cody interaction with The
Yeah.
Rock, I really hope I hope that's not where they're going with it either. I think eventually there should be a point where he is Homelander
For
Cody,
sure.
but I don't even know if that's with The Rock. Maybe it's just out of his own volition. I'm the world champion. I have X power
I mean, he
there.
was he was kind of tilting that way anyways, or he has been tilting that
So
way
he can do it on his
lately.
own. Then I don't think he needs
Yeah.
that then.
I don't know. I think that kind of would be like the feather in the cap of him turning heel would be to become the corporate champion. That way, like I mentioned in the Raw episode, is to make his run more exciting and like give it some kind of depth because it has been lacking. So maybe this is what he needs to revitalize everything. He just accepts it. He becomes a corporate champion, and then he revitalizes his role, and then uh kind of not really transitioning into the men's chamber, but Cena does win and beats heel Cody at Mania, and then they like feud. I think that's another good option as well that they could end up going with. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how Cody responds.
Maybe
But
maybe maybe Cena wins Chamber, and I know we're skipping to that, but I think that maybe Cena wins Chamber, and then Rock pushes Punk, or not Punk, Rhodes to push to be his champion, and then at Mania they get the turn where Cena wins, he's corporate champion, and then they both Rock and Cena leave Mania where Cena is the world champion and The Rock is his
interesting.
backer, which
Yeah.
would be a callback to '98 Survivor Series, which is Survivor Series and not a Mania, but
Hmm.
where they were pushing Foley in this one night tournament,
Yeah.
and it was Foley versus The Rock, and they were pushing Foley,
Hmm.
Vince McMahon backing Foley, and at the last minute, a screw job,
Yep.
Rock, corporate champion,
It'll be
started The
interesting to
Rock.
see. There's a couple different options that they have with this I want your soul declaration. So we'll see. But going into the rest of the
Yep.
actual matches for Elimination Chamber, though, we have Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. So
The
this is something that
Canadian.
just started, like just came out of the blue with Trish saving Tiffany from an after match beatdown. So what do you guys think?
Um,
The Canada pop continues.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's obviously why this match is happening in the
100%.
first place. You guys think this leads to anything else with Trish Stratus? Maybe something at Mania. Maybe Nia Jax gets. Maybe she puts over Nia Jax.
I don't know. There's maybe because there's 2 days, so I guess it is a possibility. I mean, she
But what
did
does
face
Nia get?
Becky.
Does
Huh?
She beats a,
what
a
does Nia
legend.
get?
Nia beats Trish Stratus
Yeah, she beats a legend.
Maybe
at
Nia beats
WrestleMania.
maybe
Like,
I was
what
thinking
did she get for beating her? Like,
well if oh I thought you were saying what if Nia pins Trish that night?
No,
oh
no, no.
no,
We're
no, no.
we're
Oh,
we're
I
saying
think
like, what does it
okay.
lead to after
yeah,
the match?
Yeah,
because
And
no, I get
that's
you.
what it
I
would
get
be.
you.
Would be
yeah,
a
because
Because
great match.
I think Stratus is pinning LeRae.
you think that's
That
how it's
definitely
gonna
could
end.
happen.
I mean,
It
it could,
could.
very well
Could.
could.
Yeah. like Nia says, "Oh, you didn't beat me, so let's face each other at
Yeah,
Mania." And
there
Yeah,
you
then
go.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then
That's
Nia beats, and then Nia ends up
which
beating
is
Trish and getting
which
that
is
Legends rub. So
better than my alternative of Nia beating Lyra at Mania.
Oh no,
yeah,
we're
no,
not gonna do that. Please,
See,
I
let's
yeah.
hope
not.
not.
Nah, man.
But anyways, next match we have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match.
And
So
this is an uncensored match because we're going to be seeing some disgusting
oh, we
violence.
Yeah.
absolutely are.
You think,
Disgusting
yeah,
violence.
we're about to, they're about to, I mean, they're lucky they're got this new regime going on because this is about to pop off.
Yeah, I
And
didn't.
it'll,
Go ahead, Joel. You finish.
no, long story short, we've seen these matches. We've seen obviously like
Yeah,
their encounters before. I think the storyline has been really good. I think what they've been doing with this unhinged Owens has been phenomenal. I really hope that leads to something too, because if it's just
this match. Yeah,
if it's just his personality that doesn't lead to anywhere, then it's just wasted potential.
100%.
So
100%, yeah.
I'm like this is like '09 Orton, like fucking demonic levels
Hmm.
of just
Yeah,
unhingedness. So
yeah.
I want to see them go all the way
Great
with it.
comparison. Great comparison.
And so I don't know where that leads to because right now he's on SmackDown, which is Cody's brand. So where does he fit in? Because I would love to see him get a title, like a proper title run.
Yeah, yeah, 100. Yeah,
So
totally. And I didn't mention this in the Raw review because I wanted to really like expand upon it here. But on Raw, we did see a little promo, not promo, but a sit down interview with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn goes into detail about how he saw what Kevin did on Friday, where Kevin showed up to Sami's house and basically cut a promo about Sami's family. That perturbed Sami so much to the point where he thought he would do the same, only to realize that KO wasn't home. It was just his mom, and Sami didn't really recognize himself anymore. He's kind of questioning why am I doing this? Why am I stooping down to Kevin's level? And
Hmm.
he proceeds to explain, go into detail about how he can do all of the things that KO wants to do to him. He can do all that right back to Kevin if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But the entire time he's doing that, you can see it in his face that he's not super confident about that. He's scared.
he is.
He knows
Yeah.
what Kevin's capable of, and yeah, it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be violent. And I think we're gonna see a lot of crazy stuff we've never seen in WWE before because we're in a new regime and because it's two guys who can trust each other to do some really brutal stuff. So
Where does
Yeah.
probably my most
where
sorry.
does Karrion Cross fit in all this?
Oh man, we're hearing rumors about Karrion versus Sammy at Mania, and
Oh,
yeah, I mean the only way I would want to see that is if they got shoehorned, I guess, into like the Intercontinental multi-man match. But that's bad. That's bad stuff. I don't know what we can do with
um,
Karrion specifically when it comes to Mania, but I don't know if it's him versus Sammy. I suppose it's not like the worst thing
it's a step
considering.
back
Yeah.
for Sammy. It's a step back. He just went from winning the IC championship to facing Karrion, who doesn't have matches, who's never won anything. He wasn't one of the top
Right,
30 to make the Rumble, so he didn't
Yeah.
have an appearance
right.
there. Hasn't. This is probably this is like the most interactions he's had is this thing with Sammy,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and it hasn't led to really anything. Does it lead to Sammy having a moment where he's like, I can't finish Kevin off, but then is like, well, actually, I can. I don't know because I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that Karen carries any weight aside from his vagueness, and his vagueness is
Hmm.
probably what carries the most weight because we don't know what that means. We don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Something else was teased with Carrion. Man, this is gonna be a
He
pain
did
in the butt
something.
to try to
He
remember.
he said something about Seth not winning his. He said something about Seth being delusional 2 weeks ago, not winning his qualifying match, which he did, and how I think Seth was the one who stated that he wants to be the one to pin Cena, which makes me think that he'll fail and maybe they'll go somewhere there. But again, that's just waste. Like I think that anyone attached to carrying is hurt.
Sure, you can make. Yeah, you can. kind of make that case. Like I think
Maybe.
Miz has been bigger than ever since his maybe not bigger than ever, but he's been really good lately with his carrying cross stuff. So I wouldn't say carrying's necessarily a curse, but there was a
I mean, there is a carrion
backstage
effect, so you guys got to remember that.
in
No,
kayfabe, yeah, in
yeah,
kayfabe,
in
yes,
kayfabe there is a
absolutely.
carrying effect. Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah,
so
yeah.
man, I hate that I can't remember who it was, but there was a backstage segment on Raw that the U.S. audience didn't get to see, and in the background, I think it AJ? Man, I can't recall,
Yeah, it
but
was AJ. It was
yeah,
AJ.
there was a backstage segment where after the camera kind of like panned over, you see like way in the back, Karrion's watching. So they're already
Hmm.
setting up something else for him.
Hmm.
I don't see Karrion and Sammy. It's gonna be Karrion and if I could remember who this was, this is a little bit embarrassing,
Yeah, it
but
might be AJ,
might have been AJ.
which is fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a really good match. Although they're
I mean,
building up this Braun
I
Breaker
want to,
thing with AJ,
I
so
want to see Carrion win.
something big.
I need to see Carrion doing stuff because aside from him talking and being this faux devil's advocate, he hasn't really like put his money where
Done
his mouth
anything
is.
lately? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah, true.
no
Um,
AOP, no Final Testament. Like it's
yeah,
just him again.
yeah. Him and Scarlett.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's crazy. They already got released. I can't believe that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't feel too bad for Sammy if they end up doing the Karrion Cross thing. I think he's currently my pick to win the Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble. I think he's gonna have a big year next year, um, in some shape or form. So
Yeah.
yeah, easily this is easily my most hyped. I'm looking forward to this match the most on the card for sure.
Yeah, me
Even
too.
even beyond like the men's chamber for sure.
Interesting. Okay. So going into the first Elimination Chamber match, we do have the women's. So we have the qualifiers being Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Bailey, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. So I don't know, there's quite a bit to unpack in this match, to be honest, because there's just like so many dueling personalities essentially. What do you guys think could be the outcome? Not really like predictions, but just like options, I guess.
I can see Roxanne pinning Bailey, eliminating
Yeah,
her.
Yeah,
definitely.
no doubt.
And I can see some Belair and Naomi in fighting, which leads me to believe that it's probably going to be Liv Morgan and Bianca in the finals.
We have a SmackDown before this
But
chamber where they can shed some light on how Bianca and Naomi feel about losing their belts.
yeah,
Could this
yeah.
be could the SmackDown be the return of Jade? Or do
Could
we
Ni can
think
Naomi be knocked out before Chamber and then Jade takes her spot?
I've heard that. Be
But that
kind
would
of
mean,
weird.
but does that guarantee Jade winning? And then it's Jade versus Rhea?
No,
No, see,
no.
yeah,
That's too early to do something like
yeah.
that. I don't think
I think Jade could be in it and be eliminated by Liv Morgan and be fine.
sure.
I think everyone's writing off Alexa. Like you have to keep her in mind.
I don't think she's coming. I don't think she's
I
gonna
mean,
win it.
it's for good
It,
reason.
it
Alexa
Yeah.
just comes in and immediately gets it. Like I
it could. It could happen.
I could
It
see
is an
it, but we
option.
have I think there's just better things
There's better
available, I
options.
feel like. Well,
Okay,
I don't
what if
know.
it's
options.
Alexa's been
Roxanne?
great. Like
Options
her
not the right
promo,
word.
Alexa's promo was fire, to be honest. Like it was great in my opinion.
It felt
So
like I don't think she said anything.
you don't think so?
I don't think she said anything. No, she came out and she's like, "You guys remember me? You guys remember what I do in chambers? I'm gonna do that again." And then it didn't seem like it was gonna really go anywhere. I mean, it wasn't like bland. Like
Yeah.
I was able to like watch it and like be like fixated on what she was gonna say. But it just felt like another generic. Like I'm gonna put you guys on notice, and that's it. I could see it happening. There's definitely a non-zero chance that Alexa wins this. I think there's a non-zero chance that Roxanne wins this. Um, they'll
I don't know.
revisit her and Bailey, but I feel like her and Bailey's match on NXT the other week was,
Yeah.
for the most part, the end of that. Could be wrong.
Hmm.
They could run it back at
Well,
Mania.
that's why I think that you can have Roxanne pin Bailey. I've seen these moments, whether it's in a Rumble or a Chamber, where it's the blow off to a feud, and then they don't follow up on it. It was just
Yeah.
something that happened. Lana eliminating Nia
Hmm.
Jax. These things
Yep.
just they happen.
Yeah.
Um, so I could see that being the case. I really think. I know there's a lot of intrigue because I know Morgan just won her tag team titles back,
Yep.
but there is a lot of intrigue in here. Ultimately, does Bailey make sense to face Rhea? Personally, not for me.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's Belair, Morgan, and Perez are going to be my top three.
Interesting. Okay.
If they have Jade come back on SmackDown, or God forbid, some backstage thing at Elimination Chamber, I think Bianca and Naomi are gonna cancel each other out. Um, Roxanne and Bailey have had their thing,
There's
so
Morgan
that
and Bliss.
there's leaves Morgan and Bliss. Morgan already has a storyline history with Rhea, and then
I
if it's Bliss, it's just so Bliss can go put Rhea over, I guess. I don't,
yeah.
I don't know. Feels
Yeah, that's a tough one.
it's
Yeah.
really early to have Rhea lose her belt. So
I
All
would I probably would have bought Bliss against Stratton more than I would have against Ripley.
yeah, if Charlotte didn't randomly come back and do this half-ass story where Stratton gets murdered, and then Charlotte's suddenly confident enough to get in the ring, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I don't see anything really good coming out of it, even if Tiffany beats Charlotte at Mania.
Yeah.
And
All
she's
all of these
not.
options, to be honest, are just
Lackluster.
they're not that exciting to
Because
me.
it needs to be EO.
Yeah,
It needs to be
It would
EO.
have been great. It would have been great.
or
EO
Os- or
like
Oscar or Oscar.
Or
Oscar.
Can
Asuka.
Oscar? Can she beat her? Can she beat her defeated streak at Mania against
I know.
Rhea Ripley? Like
I would love to see Oscar get
Yeah,
that'd be
her
that
dope.
her her mania moment
yeah.
that she's never
All
gotten.
all of
Wait,
these, like I said, me are lackluster, and that's why I
yeah.
said that Alexa could be an option because it
It's
doesn't
fresh.
make sense. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people because she just came back. But yeah, it's fresh. It's new. It's something like that we haven't seen. Same case can be made for Roxy winning as well. The others we've seen before. I mean, I don't have we seen Naomi versus Rhea for the
No.
title? I
No,
don't
no,
think
we
so,
have
Not
right?
we
Yeah.
haven't
no.
we
Yeah,
haven't seen
that's
that,
like
but it's just too
that's
early.
like that. Yeah, that's like the only one that we haven't seen, but that one definitely is the least
Well, Bianca,
interesting
Bianca
out of
too.
all of
Bianca
them.
too.
Oh, Bianca versus Rhea, we haven't seen.
We haven't seen that like on
No.
the not on the main
Yeah,
roster at least. I
There's an
think they
yeah.
NXT
yeah.
I
feud.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the prospect of Bianca losing the tag team titles only to be thrust back into the world title picture. I don't know.
I don't
I'm
like
not
that
as
either. Yeah, I don't like that either.
I'm not as high on Bianca as other people are. She's great. She's, really consistent. She's been a great worker. She deserves flowers, but I don't think it's time for her to go back into the world title picture at all.
No. You have a whole
So
storyline
Yeah,
to
and
finish.
I don't
yeah.
want Morgan, but like I
I don't
guess
want Liv either. Like you guys know how big of a fan of Liv I am and have been, but I don't want her to go back against Rhea. Like we've
Yeah.
seen that, we saw that all last year. Like we don't need that again, to be honest.
Everybody could not wait for that feud to be done.
Exactly,
So to bring
and
that back
that
for
that's
Mania is
already
ballsy.
exactly that's already peaked out and petered down to like nothing essentially. So I'm happy with that feud being over. The two that I guess the three that I would say that I would want to win would be Bailey, Alexa, or Roxy, just because it's something that we haven't seen in a while, and it like Bailey I guess would be like the least that I would want to see out of those three, just because she's been in the world title picture, she's had her shot essentially.
last
Alexa
year.
we haven't
Yep.
seen for a very long time, and then Roxy obviously has never been in the picture, so that would be something new and exciting and like a new
Yeah,
prospect
I'm down for that.
to have for a mini match. So I think those two are like
Would
competing
they
for my most wanted.
would they do it for the sake of stating this is our youngest world title match ever?
Yeah, exactly. That and it would be great because Roxy is homegrown through Booker T, so that would be make for a great story as well. Even though
Excuse me, she
she's the
was our
heel.
Ring of Honor's first ever women's champion.
Okay, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I know,
Like
I know
coming
what you
through
mean.
NXT, being a two-time champion, and then being coached by Booker T, like having those accolades behind her. I guess they could mention the Ring of Honor thing, but it's more so just like
No, they
this
won't.
was our
They won't.
yeah,
AEW
yeah.
owns it now, so they won't.
Oh, okay, then yeah,
Yeah.
they won't. So I guess like that would be where they could go with it. Is like she's a two-time NXT champion. She was coached by Booker T. Like this
Longest
is how far
lasting
she's come.
women's Royal Rumble participant.
Yeah, she did that at the Royal Rumble as well. Like there's a huge story for Roxy. Is it too early? Maybe, but maybe not because it's new and
Yeah,
it's a great way to showcase a champion. So yeah,
she was the runner-up at the Royal Rumble. She
exactly,
broke the
exactly.
record for the
Yeah.
Iron
Yeah,
Woman.
there's a lot of
There's a
support.
really, really, really good case for Roxy to win. I think Alexa would be probably just as exciting for me, anyways. I don't know. I don't know how on her game she is since she's come back because we've only seen the
The
one
Rumble.
promo that yeah and the Rumble performance. So I
Well, she
think
had her match to qualify too, and
yeah, yeah.
she looked fine.
I'm talking about more so like promo wise
Oh,
because
okay.
people can be really rusty when they come back and just she was great on the mic before, but you might have lost it. We don't know yet. So it'd be interesting to see what they could do with Alexa and then also with Roxy. Those so Roxy, Alexa, Bailey, those are my three that I want to see win.
Sure, dude. All right. Well, I think it's time to get on to the meat of the matter, the most likely main event of the evening. It's going to be the men's elimination chamber, one of the most stacked chambers we've had in probably 15 something years since
I'm trying to think of anything that's coming close to this. I think there was the seven
like the
person
first one.
chamber. Well, there was the seven-person chamber that was like Roman, Balor, um,
It's like Roman
Roman, Balor,
Balor.
Strowman, Cena, Rollins, and then the Miz and Elias, which kind of. And then yeah, the
Yeah.
first one was yeah, RVD, Booker T, Kane, Jericho, HBK, and Triple H. I mean, that's yeah, you really don't get any bigger than that, really.
hmm
Um,
Yeah, not very fair comparison, but it has. Regardless, it's been a very long time since we've had something as stacked as this. It's very much in line with what we've had this year already. One of the most stacked Royal Rumbles, I think, in history.
oh my God, yeah,
There were
Yeah.
so many big
Absolutely.
names. Very,
yeah,
very light on the on the mid card
on the
for that
filler.
Rumble. Yeah, filler mostly.
And
Alpha
when
Academy.
and then when you think of people that didn't make it, that like you, it's hard to even consider most of them like carrying.
Yeah, I mean they had like no disrespect to Otis. I love that guy, but he had no business being in that match.
No, I don't think
And
so.
I
Yeah.
understand
Like
the
Andrade.
Andrade. I get a little bit more. He's been a little bit more
Yeah,
featured,
I get
and
Andrade.
he could use the
More
memory
time.
refresher. Um,
Mhm.
and I do understand the promotional aspect of having iShow speed there, but yeah, like but anyway,
Yeah,
regardless, very stacked chamber.
it was. Or it is, yeah.
Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. We've got Drew McIntyre, Damian
You said
Priest.
Roman Reigns. Roman
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Reigns.
said Roman Reigns. He's not in it.
It's
He might be in
Cena,
it. He might be
So
in
John
it.
Cena, and Logan
it's
Paul.
so it's Cena, Punk, Drew, Logan, Damian, and Seth. So those are
Yeah.
the
Well,
yeah.
Roman Reigns is going to take out Damian and enter
Uh,
himself in, right?
Oh, as the yeah, I mean people have been saying that actually.
Yeah. Or The Rock inserts
Yeah.
himself for another 7-man chamber.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I hate that. I
So those are
hate
bad.
that.
Those are
Yeah.
bad options. None of us here approve of that. That is not a Wolfpack approved idea.
No, no,
No,
definitely
not
not.
approved. Not backed up. Not backing.
Absolutely not.
What is Wolfpack approved would be each of our predictions. Who do we think has got this one? I mean, it could be realistically
Yeah,
anybody except for Logan
who were you guys'
and Damian.
top three again? So we did top three like choices or
It's
options for the men's this time. So
It's Punk, Cena, and Drew. Those are the names.
those are my three as well. But even though McIntyre's kind of feuding with Bloodline or people associated with Roman, I don't see him. Well, I guess
Yeah.
he
I
could still have a
I
vendetta.
guess I guess my three would have to be Cena Punk and Priest. Even though it's
Interesting.
like the longest
Priest.
shot. I think Priest is the longest shot, but it like circles
Yeah.
back to Priest versus Cody, like they were talking about backstage.
If
Um,
I would agree with that if they do the Cody corporate champion route. So you
yeah,
have heel
exactly.
versus face,
So
yeah.
it depends on which way it goes. So because those three make the most sense. Seth really doesn't make that much sense. I mean, it does because he supported Cody winning the title, but
Yeah, and Cody's
at the same
3-0 against
time,
him.
yeah, at the
Yeah.
same time, I don't know if
There's better things you can do than that,
yeah,
which is crazy to say, but
yeah,
that's just the
yeah.
privileged
That's
era
just
that
the
we're
in
in.
reality. Yeah.
in the current landscape, like yeah, there are better things that could happen, and I mean, I think most likely what'll happen is either Cena or Punk will win
Right.
because those have been a long time coming. And personally, I want to see Cena win and
Sure.
beat Cody for 17th title. Like that would be great for his final run. He, deserves that accolade in my opinion. Um, but it all goes back to Cody's decision like we were talking about. So if he doesn't, do you think it's more likely that Cena wins if Cody does or doesn't accept the Rock's challenge? Because I know we talked about this on the
Well,
Raw
who's to say he even
episode, but
answers? Who's to say he even
or we talked
answers?
about it earlier. Yeah,
He can just like
Brush it off.
push it off. I don't know because Rock's
I'm trying
gonna
to think
be
of a way to.
there, so I don't
Yeah, Rock
know if
said
he's gonna.
yeah, Rock did say he would see Cody
Then
Yeah,
he
at
at
probably
Chamber,
won't
Elimination
yeah.
accept
Chamber.
it. He probably won't accept
No, he
it.
won't. Well, all right,
So
so
if he doesn't,
yeah.
then Cena could win it, like you were saying. Cena could win it because he turns and becomes
Corporate Cena.
Corpus Cena. I mean, I guess same thing could be said for CM Punk though too.
Nope. So CM Punk is not going to do it. If he does, I'll be pissed. I'm taking this shit off and I'm shredding it because you have officially turned your back on everything.
Sell out Punk. Yeah.
People want to call him a sellout for coming back. It's new management. He's not a fucking sellout because Vince is gone. But anyway, I think if John Cena is going to be the corporate guy for The Rock, I think
Uh-huh.
it's because he loses at the Chamber, and the same way he inserted himself into the Chamber, he's going to realize what's best for business is if he inserts himself into Punk versus Cody,
So the
make it a
triple
triple
threat
threat.
match, yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
because that's what's
So
best for
then,
business. He said it himself. Like
oh,
he's doing it.
wait.
He's doing
Are
this heel
you
thing.
okay? And then that would be pretty good because Cena wins, lol, at Mania. Punk is mad that his main event got
got ruined.
ruined.
Yeah,
But and then maybe we can run back Money in the Bank, Cena versus Punk,
it
which
could.
is
That's hot.
the
That's hot.
I mean it's 14 years since their famous match, but you still have the essence of that match there.
Yeah,
And you can
yeah,
put a big stip behind it where like if Punk loses, he's forced to leave.
yeah.
Whatever that means.
Again.
I
He has to go back to AEW.
I
Nah,
think those are
to
definitely
evolve.
the two most exciting options out of the six participants. But yeah, I mean, who knows what the landscape holds? But I most likely it'll be Punk or Cena winning.
Whatever's happening to
So
Logan Paul will be the last one eliminated.
you think so?
He's going to eliminate the person before him and then run into the finisher of the last person.
Oh man, bold prediction.
It's all
I
part
just
of the
feel like
game, baby.
Yeah,
that's how he generates his heat. Like I knew he was going to
Sure.
be 130 at me at Rumble and I was right.
Hmm.
And I just feel like these are the things that they do to just kind of build up that heat. Like, oh
keep it
God, he
going
was
with him.
so close to winning the chamber. Like, well, thank God he didn't.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we could see that Punk and Logan being the last two. That'd be all right,
Or
I guess.
or Paul and Cena.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's so much in the
Well,
air because
okay.
there's so much talent in this chamber.
Okay, if Cena loses, he has to be the last one pinned.
Yeah, I mean, that Cena and Punk being the last two is the most likely outcome.
Yeah, and that could go.
Either way.
How do you guys feel about so another scenario where Punk wins and The Rock comes in and he's like, "Nah, fuck that. You're not main eventing WrestleMania, bud. I'm main eventing WrestleMania." And so Punk has to call in his favor and he
Mm.
has to ask Heyman, "Can you have Roman take care of this Rock guy for me at Mania?" and they do that for the tribal chief status for the Ulafala.
Oh,
Oh man,
already,
this
already
favor,
having
this
Roman and Rock. I mean,
Already,
I
we should
say
have got that like two
I
years ago, bro.
no, no, I say already
We should have
because
got
yeah,
that
they
forever ago.
I say already because they've been what's it called?
teasing
I've
it.
seen some teasing with Rock and Roman next year at Mania.
Really.
Hmm.
Yeah, for like there was some like
They're running out of
something.
time.
Yeah, there was something with the title being involved where I can't remember the exact scenario, but it all led to Rock versus Roman next year, not this year. And I can't remember why, but it seemed like it was kind of far-fetched, but at the same time it seemed like okay, that I guess I could see that. I'd have to find it again and bring it up, but
What do you
yeah, I
guys think
don't
Roman's doing at Mania? What can Roman do at Mania? Is
The
it Roman
McIntyre?
Roman versus Jacob versus Solo triple threat?
No.
I mean, if Jacob's doing anything, it's Jacob versus Solo. We have to get that match.
I think Roman could.
Roman versus Seth.
Logan? No, he already did
Um,
Logan.
yeah, Roman versus Seth.
They're on two
Yeah,
different
I see
brands,
it.
but sure,
Yeah.
No,
they
I see it
could.
happening. Yeah.
I mean, especially because he is pretty much the reason why Roman lost. So, I mean, they're gonna feud forever, obviously, because
Yeah.
they're the opposites of each other. But they could do that. I mean, especially because Seth is pissed off because he loses Chamber, and then that starts this whole thing with Roman again. Um, Definitely an option, but I don't know what Roman could do, but. For him to be completely
I mean,
left off the card would be kind of
Roman's
crazy.
too above. I mean, does Roman face Braun? Is it too early for that?
Braun Breaker? Oh,
That's not
because he got
gonna.
speared by him?
I think that was just a spot for Braun. It'd be kind of no. You can't have Roman go back down to like a mid card title.
But that I don't want to say that when it's like if it was him facing Austin Theory, I think that's a step down if he was the IC champion. I think when you look at Braun Breaker, I don't want to do that and compartmentalize going down because it's the IC title. I would want to say that it's not an even keel, but it's an
He's helping
interesting,
to elevate
yeah.
it, basically.
hmm Like
Yeah.
this is the case of helping elevate the title,
Yeah, but then
not going down.
you couldn't I don't know, you couldn't have Braun
They're
beat
just different.
Roman.
Yeah, they're just
Like,
different characters. Like Seth was able to do that for the United States title because it works with his character.
Yeah.
He's like an
mhm,
egomaniac, spotlight junkie.
yeah.
So of course he's going to do that.
No, and that makes sense.
Roman definitely sees himself as above the IC belt. So
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
you could not have Braun beat
Does
Roman
CM
either.
Punk call in
Like,
his favor and say,
that's the issue.
I want to beat Roman at Mania then?
No, I think CM Punk's favor is to it
To get
has it's
Rock the fuck
huge.
off?
It's got to be huge. Well,
Yeah.
it could either be that or it could be something along the lines of like get me in the main event because that's what
Yeah,
I want.
exactly. It doesn't have to be
And
tied directly to Roman. It's Heyman that's giving him the favor. So,
mhm.
that's and I'm agreeing with like that's Heyman doing the job to get him into the main event, like you're saying. So,
Was Paul Heyman the no, he wasn't the manager at the time of SmackDown when Cena came up. Because I would want to see if there was like a little like mobility where he does introduce Punk into the Cena Cody Rhodes match, and it's because like Heyman's like you're not what you needed to be from the beginning, like something like that. And that's how he helps Punk kind of get in, where he's like, I'm going to use, like, Punk's called me in to call in my favor. Punk's going to be in this
yeah,
match now.
yeah,
We gotta keep in
And
mind that Roman wants to main event his fifth Mania in a row. That's going to be a story beat.
I just don't know how he does it though.
Well, I mean, he's not going to. I don't think he's going to,
Yeah,
but he's going to try. Like, it's going to be a story beat for sure. And what that ends up leading to, what, there's just a wait and see.
I mean, it's going to be an interesting chamber. I think it's going to, four matches, there's a lot of storylines because we got to also think that not only the victors, but what is every pin and everything, like what's every result going to mean going forward too.
yeah,
So I'm very excited, and we should have a really interesting card on our hand with
yeah.
result.
We'll have the reactions up like we said. So definitely keep an eye out for that on probably like the Monday after.
hmm
But yeah, final thoughts on the Elimination Chamber card.
I'm
Uh,
excited.
Absolutely excited. Looking forward to that Sami
Yeah, it's gonna be
Zayn
great.
KO violence.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
And I'm excited for the chamber matches because the women's one's really up in the air, and the men, I'm down to two. So we'll just
Yeah,
gotta
I,
see.
I think I'm more excited for the women's one, to be
Me
honest, because
too.
that one is
Me
just
too.
so up in the air. Like, not anyone could win because I don't see Naomi winning, to be 100% honest,
But
but
everyone else is a
five
good
of the
shot.
six could win. Yeah, yeah, that's so I'm excited for the women's chamber match
sure.
most of all. I know you guys are more excited for the Sammy KO match, like you
Yep.
said, so
Yep.
but everything's gonna be great. So we'll be back on the Monday after Elimination Chamber. Any last words before we sign out, guys?
No, but if you guys want to, please keep on the lookout for a Sporkle challenge coming up. So one
Yes.
of us will be doing an individualized video, taking
Yep.
care of a quiz, answering some questions, and
Lots more
hope,
content coming, guys.
yeah, we're
Definitely keep an
gonna,
eye out for it. We're gonna be more consistent as well with, just all of our releases. We'll release that schedule on our various social media. So keep an eye out for that. And then also for just future content. We're super excited for this year. So we have a lot of exciting stuff in plans.
yep. So I'm Joel.
I'm Devin.
Corefish,
Too sweet,
signing
my
out.
Too
guys.
sweet,
Too sweet. Sign
boys.
Too
out.
sweet.
Woo!